put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. I am Adanna Combie, and thank you so much for staying with us. This morning we continue conversations. We speak with Atiba DeLeon, and he's the Vice President of Tobago October Carnival Association, as we speak about their role for Carnival 2024 here in Tobago. And of course, you must be aware that Tobago Updates is your official station for Carnival 2024. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Right, so we're talking about the Tobago October Carnival Association. October Carnival being very new to Tobago. This is the third edition, and we have this association. What are your roles and functions and responsibilities in terms of managing, assessing whatever your roles are? Let us know what the TOCA, as you call it, does here for Carnival.
All right. So what TOCA does is basically representation and also facilitating the bands, right? As it relates to the carnival space. So we have, his pan, his have calypso, it have the different stakeholders. So we are stakeholders represent the mass of that aspect of the carnival.
All right. So is it that you ensure that things run the way they're supposed to run? People have the representation in terms of bands ensuring that they have all that they need for the road. What exactly, when you say you support them, what do you mean exactly you represent them?
All right, so it goes both ways. In the sense of one, making sure the bands are at a standard and that they have the requisite information, the requisite tools, the requisite infrastructure. Basically, as you said, helping the bands, but more so also what I won't say advocate, but I want to say making good representation of what the bands may need to make sure the carnival is successful. So as it relates to that road experience, that spectacle on the road. So also that liaison between the bands and the Tobago House of Assembly as well, and sponsors and other stakeholders.
All right. So TOCA has been around from the inception of the carnival, or has it been?
No, we started last year, July, and then so this is our second carnival operating.
And what was obviously it was implemented because you saw a need. What was the thing that you decided, listen, we need to have an association? What was the cause for coming together and establishing this association for the carnival?
Right, so the main reason is year one, because as you said, it's a relatively new carnival, and year one we saw that decisions were being made and policies and rules were being implemented without the voice or the representation of the band and the mass fraternity, which is a big stakeholder in any carnival, right? And last year we decided to come together and have one voice and also make good representation of what we would require to make the carnival and the entire show on the road a successful one.
All right, and is it that the stakeholders have to register to be members? How does it work in terms of the relationship with you and the stakeholders who are on the road, or the production of the carnival?
Right, so we have a basic basic registration where persons request to join. They are given rules, guidelines of how the code of conduct, stuff like that. And basically you are part of the of that organization.
And is it an annual subscription, or is it once you're registered, you're covered?
Once you're registered, you're covered. Basically, we know that it's young, so we try not to kill people with with the annual fees and to try to stress out people more. But as of now, it's you join, there's some vetting, and then a simple vetting process, and then you are a member.
And how are you positioned for Carnival this year in terms of all your members being registered and you having the resources that you need to represent the stakeholders?
This year we have a lot more in store for our membership. All our members that are partaking are registered thus far. We have gotten some how to put it, some good some good treats for them as it relates to acquiring some sponsors, acquiring little assistance for some of the bands, because some are more fortunate than some, and we want to try to bring up the rear. So as a result, we have those measures in place as it relates to making sure that that show look good. And then we also have a system where with the smaller bands, and they we try to bring them in the room that they could pool resources together. So this year we have some of those things in place.
So it's kind of like standardizing, ensuring that the bands are at the same standard, so that the products could be of
Yes. So what our onset idea and ideology behind it is, one, we want to make representation, but two, we want to get the weaker ones stronger. And so the smaller bands that may not have the resources as the larger bands, we try to assist and more or less help them organically come together, pool the resources that they could have a certain standard that is of the larger bands or is on par with those larger bands.
And is it that you assist in soliciting sponsorship? Because I know, as you said, the carnival is young, the bands are young, and in terms of getting the resources might be challenging. And I know for a masquerader to pay for the entire thing, it might cost a lot. So is it that you support them in terms of finding sponsorship and people to collaborate with them for the production?
Right. So what we did this year is more or less seek private sponsorship from a number of sponsors, and it's not sponsorship of cash, but of products that could get their product up to par, that they could have refreshments, they could have venues, they could have a lot of different goodie bag treats, stuff like that they now could give something to their masquerader of substance, and that their masquerader could walk away feeling good, a part of a great experience.
And how do you feel as the vice president of TOCA in terms of where you are in terms of the production, ready for the road, ready for that display for Carnival 2024? Do you feel as if, well, we up to par, we get in there, we close enough, we still have work to do? How do you feel right now?
Well, I always believe we have work to do. But as it stands for this Carnival, most bands have strictly into production mode. So I know that they are working on the mass production for their patrons. But on a holistically, I am in a good space, and I believe that I'm confident that or we could put on a great show and it could only get better. I think we are young, and we as an organization, the stakeholders involved, we all are learning, and we all are striving for that greatness. And as we continue to strive, we'll always improve upon. So next year we might add something else that, that we could, or take away, just to add to that experience. Because the ultimate gratification is that of the masqueraders being satisfied. And that is the goal.
Right, absolutely amazing. And how do you want to encourage your members this year to let them know, hey, we got you, we got your back, we're here to support you? How would you, if you were to tell them that in 30 seconds, how would you express that to them?
I would just retract and say last year we started July, we were able to deliver a lot of deliverables, and all we are doing this year is building on that and improving and adding more to it. And that's basically
Absolutely amazing. So I do, of course, wish you a wonderful carnival season this year, and I do hope that you are able to deliver the said deliverables, and I do hope that your collaborators come on board and assist with, the needs that you might have to be able to, boast that TOCA did what TOCA said they were going to do this year. In closing, is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
Just that persons that are interested in the mass, there are some bands that have, space available, and, we are here to steer you in the right direction, and you could sign up for some of those bands. It's on the Welcome Tobago site. You could see all the bands and their handles, social media handles. And that's basically where we want to make sure the road is amazing, it looks good, and everybody can enjoy and masquerade in safe fun in Tobago.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if somebody wants a new band is coming out and they want to register, how do they contact you?
They could contact TOCA, they could contact myself. 737-7299.
You look a little bit apprehensive there. I was just wondering if TOCA had an official
Yes,
contact.
we also have a page. We also have a page, TOCA, TOCA Carnival Tobago. That is on Instagram, and then we also have Mr. Dexter Sandy. You can contact him. That's the president, and myself, Vice President Atiba DeLeon.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We've been speaking with Atiba DeLeon, Vice President of Tobago October Carnival Association, as he walks us through the roles and functions of TOCA here for the October Carnival here in Tobago. Thank you so much for gracing us this morning. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for staying with us. We have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio this morning. And of course, we want you to stay with us. And as you stay with us, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.